think because you're my daughter, you think that you're
Well,
above it all.
this looks like a Saints Row game, alright? Hey folks, Hudson here, and would you look at that, I'm reviewing a new game that came out just a few days ago. Guess there's a first time for everything. Anywho, this is Saints Row Gat Out of Hell, which is pretty much a reskin of Saints Row 4, which was pretty much a reskin of Saints Row 3, well, you know, 4 added superpowers and shit. Assuming you know nothing about Saints Row, which would be a surprise, the series started out as a half-serious, half-parody open-world gang game. With each follow-up, the series started becoming more and more crazier until Volition simply stopped giving a fuck and released Saints Row 4, where you get superpowers and fight aliens in a virtual reality. Gat Out of Hell is pretty much the continuation of that insanity, where this time around the president gets kidnapped by Satan through a Ouija board and you're tasked as Johnny Gat to go and rescue him. Gat Out of Hell is just like what Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon was, and I really wish more developers and publishers would take advantage of this format. It's a standalone expansion that delivers a short AAA experience at a fraction of the price to the consumer, while also allowing the studio to save development costs by simply reusing pre-existing content. The engine and most of the graphics are taken directly from Saints Row 4, just reskinned, and Saints Row 4 itself was just a slight upgrade from the assets that were used in Saints Row 3. Animations such as running to flying to executions are all reused directly from Saints Row 4. While Gat Out of Hell is showing its age, it still manages to look pretty good. As far as gameplay is concerned, the simplest and best way to describe Gat Out of Hell is that it's the same shit as the previous two games, only on a much smaller scale. Your goal is to create enough chaos and hell so that Satan will begin to take interest in you, as that is the only way of getting his attention and saving the president. Basically, you run around, you shoot shit, and you cause chaos through a variety of ways, as either Johnny or Kinsey. Both have the same skills and abilities, so there's no difference between them. Over the course of the game's short story, you team up with a few of Hell's denizens, like Shakespeare. Of course he'd end up in Hell, why wouldn't he? Who give you access to superpowers like petrifying enemies and summoning exploding imps. Aside from that, you have your typical standard over-the-top Saints Row weaponry, ranging from a grenade launcher that shoots exploding frogs, an SMG that shoots bees, and a lazy boy with 2 Gatling guns strapped to its sides, cause why the fuck not? There are very few story missions. Much of Gat Out of Hell revolves around the side activities, and they're exactly the same as you've seen in the previous games. Blazin', Mayhem, Rampage, Survival, and my personal favorite, Insurance Fraud, all make a return in this title. Personally, I found these side missions to be very boring and repetitive in the previous games, and my opinion hasn't changed here. Thankfully, once you've pissed Satan off a bit, he constructs spires around Hell that fire homing rockets at you when you're flying. This does spice things up a bit as now you're vulnerable, and introduces new tasks to do like destroying them, but do note, they're heavily guarded. The world looks great. I love the look of Hell and just how chaotic everything is. Expect cars to constantly crash and explode into each other without your involvement. Hell is mostly populated by these husks who waddle about, dying to pretty much everything in sight. Sometimes they'll even do funny little emotes here and there.
He was a man
The enemy variety is nice. They range from your standard foot soldiers to cloaked snipers to shielded flying creatures and to huge archdemons that serve as mini-bosses. There's a strategy to deal with each type of enemy, and when you're caught in a fight with all of these demons together, it's a real blast annihilating every single one of them. There's no downtime in this game either, as simply walking past regular demons will turn them hostile. Gat Out of Hell is pure action from start to finish, and that's what makes it a fucking blast. As always, there's the level up system. Doing just about anything rewards you with experience and money. The higher level you are, the more abilities you gain access to that you can unlock by spending money. You can upgrade passives like health and resistance, upgrade your guns, and upgrade your powers as well, like being able to summon more exploding imps, because why not? Everyone loves fucking exploding imps. The only real downsides to this game aren't even cons in my opinion. There's just lack of customization and lack of radio stations. And to me they're not a big deal. There's no stores aside from gun vending machines. You can't customize your character's appearance or the appearance of any vehicles. I think there was a missed opportunity with the soundtrack. Having some well-known heavy metal songs would have been cliched, but at the same time fitting and awesome. Still, I imagine the licensing cost would have probably been too expensive for a short little game like this. Gat Out of Hell took me 8 hours to beat, but you can easily beat it in about 3 to 4 if you only focus on mandatory story missions and do a couple of random side shit, just to fill up Satan's wrath meter. Even after my 8-hour playthrough, there's still a lot of things that can be done. The game is really an achievement hunter's or a challenge junkie's wet dream. There's plenty of other things to do like collect audio logs, unlock secret chests, collect legendary weapons, and probably some other shit that I missed, but as I said earlier, I don't find objectives like these appealing. I found myself bored in Saints Row 3 when I wasn't doing any of the story missions, and thank God there's no stupid drive a car with a tiger as your passenger here. Get Out of Hell doesn't outstay its welcome with its length, but if you are the type of gamer who enjoys collecting things, or if you're just a completionist in general, then you might find some of these activities appealing. There isn't much else to say about this game. Overall, I loved it. The $20 price point seems fair for the amount of content that's being delivered. Hell, I paid $5 for it, thanks to GameStop's pre-order price error, and I definitely got my money's worth on that one. Get Out of Hell doesn't do anything new, but that's not a bad thing. It takes solid established characters and gameplay mechanics, drops them into a new setting, while continuing to have hilarious writing and voice acting, making you genuinely interested in playing it further. The game is non-stop action, and there are many moments where I just simply wandered around, aimlessly shooting the shit out of everything, getting into massive firefights with hordes of demons, for no reason other than the fact that the combat, the action, and the gameplay is extremely fucking satisfying. If you expected Volition to return to their Saints Row roots and create another gang-themed game, you should look elsewhere. If you enjoyed the over-the-top ridiculous nature of Saints Row 3 and 4 and you want more of the same, then you'll probably enjoy this one. Or if you're like me and you just don't give a shit about either of those camps and just want a stupid fucking dumb open world game where you can run around and blow the fuck out of shit in hilarious ways, then you'll probably enjoy it as well. Get Out of Hell doesn't take itself seriously and I'm glad it doesn't. It's a lot of fun and I recommend it. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe.
One night with any lover, but you have to punch a panda. Do you do it?
Ooh, good question.
Mr. Gat?
Who are you?
Well, I'm a...
We're not doing that again.
Oh, thank God.
Okay.